FPS. Right. Timer is still good, nice. No, we're back, we never left. We're back. It's all good. Okay, now it's back. There you go. You seen this meg move, right? If I restart the run, boom! Little graphic from the website, from the web page. It's working correctly. That's good. Huge milestone. It's dynamic as well, right? It's gonna update the data based on whatever I put in. It's great. It's great. I love it already. Final frontier quest of the day. I do have to win though, like I got to win. I only remember that he's blind or something. Oh my! I don't remember that. What is that? What are these? What is that? What's going on? He's got that cell tail going on. Ooh. That was a good hit. R1 and select. But I should sharpen first. Do this, do that. Does he only hear us when we walk in the water? I think that's what it was. Huh. R1 and select. Anytime now. Bam. Woo! He is ready. Oh my god, man. Oh, jeez. I still feel like I'm doing that wrong, man. It takes way too long to get to the other side. Might just be an input issue, you know, that's not registering correctly. Ooh. He's got the Espina screen. Ooh. Is it Tuesday today? It is. I've seen a lot of very negative reviews on the new season of Rings of Power, right? I'm very shocked. I will say, right? For the first season, whole bunch of hate, right? Then I watched it, was like, nice, right? So I'm gonna assume the same thing. That the majority of the hate comes from the series not staying faithful to the original, right? I hope that's what it is. It might just be bad, right? This time. But apparently there is less hate than for the first season. Apparently so. It's still a tremendous amount, though. I was being sarcastic, Magimu, come on now. I love watching those hour-long videos about just ranting about the season, going super in depth. That's content too, just like with Game of Thrones, right? All the videos, hour-plus long videos, dissecting the last couple of seasons, exposing all the, well, not exposing, but highlighting all the, I don't know, continuity errors, there it is. Continuity errors, stuff like that. But it's content. It's so enjoyable to watch. It's safe to show. It doesn't beat my favorite type of video though that I loved watching while the seasons were still coming out, which was those fan theory videos, right? And my favorite one was, of course, the Peter Baelish theory, which went so in depth and it was so believable as well, and they had all these backups to their claims, right? They showed clips from the seasons to make all the puzzle pieces fall in place, and it made sense to me and a lot of other people, right? And everyone wanted that to be the conclusion of his character, but then nothing like that happened. He just got, he just got killed. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna see if I can still find the video because it's so well done, man. And like every clip that they showed was just a double verification of how credible their theory is. And you know, that being said, it might as well have been his character resolution, right? But what we have received is an individual's rendition of Game of Thrones, right? It's a rendition of the story. It's not the story, it's just someone's interpretation of the story. So, in another timeline, or in like 50 years from now when they're gonna refilm Game of Thrones, then that vision might become true. You know what I mean? So the fan theory might have been right all along, but it just wasn't the time yet. Let's do this, let's do that, let's switch games. Bam. What do I play? If Fame was here, it would have been Sacred 2. Immediately. We have 2 media shares. Oh. Maggie Moo? Oh, it's the Dev Diary! Perfect timing! That is good timing. Yeah, let's watch that. Very good timing, Maggie Moo. Nice. Yeah, let's watch that. All thanks to the Starkeness ecosystem, right, for making me realize this was in the queue. I thank you so much.
Ryozo Tsujimoto from Capcom here.
Hi, I'm Kaname Fujioka, Executive Director and Art Director.
And I'm Daisuke Ichihara, Director of Iceborne. Let's get right to it. Please take a look at this.
There. Wait, is this the... Oh, I see. I see. I do want to rewatch the initial announcement trailers for World, because there were a lot of differences in there compared to the actual game. Or misconceptions, maybe, but... It's always nice to rewatch those.
Hunters, your attention.
So what we're up against isn't a monster. It's actually history.
Weapons from its last stand are still on site.
They knew the stakes and battled
Steak?
hard, but were ultimately outmatched.
It's the Commission! They're finally here!
We'll buy everyone some time to escape.
Hang on. No way!
Ooh, the soundtrack. I love that they remastered it a little bit. It's nice.
Well, there you have it. We're happy to announce that this update we'll finally see the return of the legendary Elder Dragon, Fatalis. We'll talk more about Fatalis in just a bit, but we also have some other information we'd like to share with everyone, so please be sure to stick around until the very end of the video.
Classic bait.
So first, I was thinking we could walk everyone through Fatalis' history and design for people who've never faced it before.
Sure. Fatalis first appeared in the very first Monster Hunter as a monster only available in the game's online mode. It's a monster of legend, so to speak, with hunters referring to it simply as the Black Dragon. No one knows much about it. It's as if this mysterious creature just shows up all of a sudden. So in that game, it was a monster that would suddenly show up without warning as the focus of an online event. But in Monster Hunter World, we wanted to bring it back in a way that lets players challenge the beast more regularly.
So, of course, it's tough, right?
Indeed.
No denying it.
Of course, yes.
Maybe you want to delve a little bit into that.
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is probably the locale. A place that goes hand in hand with Fatalis. And that's Castle Shrade. This time we've been able to realize it with Iceborne quality visuals. And people are gonna love it. And of course, it wouldn't be Castle Shrade without the Dragonator, cannons, and other elements for hunters to play with. So it's sure to be a fun fight.
Sir,
Nice.
like where does the Shrade part come from? It seems like a German word, but what does it mean? Shrade Kingdom. A great kingdom lost over thousands of years. The cause of destruction is Fatalis. The Shrade region. Well, that answers the question. It's a place, it's a spot. Okay.
Even though this is the final update for Iceborne, we're introducing a brand new character.
That's right.
When it becomes apparent that Fatalis may appear at Castle Shrade, the guild mobilizes to prepare a large-scale operation, and the general who's leading the operation arrives in Astera as a representative. And he's there to talk business. He shows up asking for help from the Research Commission. He's a pretty big deal in the guild. Also, players are already familiar with the excitable A-lister. He was actually known as the Ace Cadet in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
I thought that was his only name.
Well, in this update, we're going to touch a little bit on the excitable A-lister's past, when he was just an excitable cadet, so to speak. And I think that's going to be something that fans will be very interested in. Of course, with this new update, we're getting a new monster, and that means we have new equipment for everyone to forge. Fatalis' armor design was in the previous games in the series, and known as the Dragon Set. But this time, we've really been able to give it that Monster Hunter World shine, and I have to say it looks amazing. And for Palicos, we've got...
Yeah, I think you'd better explain this one.
Well, it's like a faux Fatalis. And on top of that, its weapon is a hunter. When sheathed, you can see him going for a kittyback ride. Players really need to see this for themselves.
I think everyone is interested in hearing what this set brings to the table.
Well, for the skills, we've prepared something very interesting. You'll be taking on a very tough opponent, so as a reward for that, the set bonus skill, well, it's a secret.
What?
Of course we want hunters to add tons of skills, and as you know, certain skills have skill caps.
And Fatalis is kind of the top of the ecosystem, so...
That's right.
What a tease. All right, next we'd like to talk about updates to the game system. First up, we'll go over a brand new skill that'll be available starting from this update.
As you know, the Clutch Claw was added as a new combat option in Iceborne. And when you attack a monster while grappling onto it, the effect differs depending on the type of weapon. But with this new skill, any weapon type can benefit from it. So attacking with the sword and shield causes slinger ammo to drop, but it takes 2 attacks to tenderize a monster's hide. With this, it only takes 1, and it will still drop slinger ammo.
What is tenderizing again? I keep forgetting, man. What is that? Does it become weaker? Okay, cool.
Ammo. This will be a handy skill if you have space in your build.
And with this update, all of the layered armor sets will finally be unlocked. So now you'll finally be able to coordinate your Fashion Hunter sets to your liking.
And on top of that, we're adding more items that can be melded as always. The amount of decorations that can be melded has been expanded, and we've got other things planned, such as the ability to upgrade charms.
All right, here's a summary of all the other updates you can expect.
Cool. Wicked.
Next up, recently we've been having a lot of fun adding these whimsical pendants. And we have quite a few this time as well.
The artists really like making these.
I know, right?
We really have a huge variety of these.
We also have new room decor available.
The pendants are just so cute that we wanted players to use them as room decor as well. We've also prepared some decor based on giant skulls and bones, so you can really switch up the feel of your room.
Players can really jazz up their rooms now.
That's what it's all about.
All right, now let's talk about the next seasonal event planned for October.
This time around, we're going for a sort of horror-inspired haunted house feel. As always, there will be special armor for Palikos and a unique costume for the handler to match the feel of the event. The team went all out to come up with a bunch of imaginative designs. I think that players are going to really like them.
Yeah. The design of the snowman has changed too, so everyone, be sure to check those out as well.
Wait, is that from Castlevania? I recognize the castle in the back. Did they say?
Always, there will be special armored haunted house feel.
Or just a general thing?
As always, there will be special armor for Palikos and players
Too. So
Still gotta finish those Castlevania games.
So now, leading up to our 5th update, we're making Iceborne's previous seasonal events available again. We hope that everyone will take the opportunity to join these events and get ready to take the fight to Fatalis.
Right. On top of that, we've prepared one new event quest per week for the 3 weeks leading up to this update. They take place in the Celiana supply cache, which was attacked by Velkhana in Iceborne's story. Now players will be able to hunt some other monsters in that locale. As players may remember, this locale allows for some different playing styles, and we can't wait for players to try them out.
For this developer diary, we're happy to be joined by a special guest, Yuya Tokuda, director of Monster Hunter World. Thanks for coming.
Long time no see. I'm Yuya Tokuda. Happy to be here.
The original Monster Hunter World was released over 2 years ago on January 26, 2018. After its release,
Every time I hear this soundtrack, it fills me with such nostalgia, man. From back in 2018, when it was freshly released. Ooh, it feels good, man. Regardless of how I feel about the game, just that initial playthrough, ooh, it still hits, man. It still does. And some of those little sound samples from time to time, they instantly give me that feel again. It's great.
Number of updates for the game.
It's like during a quest, when the music goes you know?
Now, it's been, what, already a year since the release of Iceborne? So, we wanted to let everyone know that this will be the last free title update for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Of course, we'll continue to update content such as event quests, so there will still be plenty of fun to be had. So, why don't we take a look back?
I mean, you came all this way.
Right, and we haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
It's possible that not everyone has been able to play all content that was added to World. We also added a lot of collaborative content.
Yeah, definitely. We were lucky enough to have content from some really famous games and incorporate their gameplay into ours. This unique content proved to be some challenging stuff, too. I really felt that players did a great job adjusting their tactics to meet the demands of these quests.
But there was an Assassin's Creed one?
It was
I didn't know.
energizing to work with the developers from those companies, right?
I remember the Witcher
We
one.
learned a ton from them.
And Daisuke,
That's me.
when Iceborne released, you said that you wanted to continue to add free content to the game for about a year. Well, a year has finally come and gone.
That's right.
Oh, by the way,
I
that
recall
year
being
hasn't
at home
just
playing
ended.
all the content that Yuya just mentioned, just as a regular player. And then I'd come to the office to work on Iceborne. It was like I was really living and breathing Monster Hunter for a long time. Looking back on this year, we were able to add a number of updates, but really, I'm just happy that people have been enjoying the game.
It's really great that it felt like we were being supported by the fans at all times.
And Fatalis, the centerpiece of this developer diary, wasn't a lock when Iceborne started development, right?
That's right. Last year was the 15th anniversary of the series, and we decided that we wanted to show off Fatalis for the first time in a while. Well, as you might expect when bringing out something from the past, the old assets were dated and were kind of hard to use, even after touching them up in CG. So we decided to properly recreate Fatalis for the 15th anniversary, and it completely went viral on the internet. It was a huge hit. And we thought, okay, well, we can't not put it in the game now. So I asked Daisuke to make it happen. And he made sure that all the teams could handle the work. These 2 years interacting with the fans has been really enjoyable.
For sure, it's a special sort of experience.
I love gauging the reaction of fans and trying to respond to it. It was a lot of fun.
All right. With all that being said, this is going to be the final free title update. But don't worry, as we mentioned before, you'll be able to continue playing event quests. And there's just a huge volume of content to play through thanks to all of these updates. I'm sure there are players out there who haven't finished every quest or obtained every piece of equipment. So, we hope that you'll continue to enjoy the hunt in Monster Hunter with your fellow hunters. All right, now I'd like to finish off this final developer diary with our usual parting words. Ready? Happy hunting!
Oh, the reveal? Zero Dawn? Huh? I do not remember that. SKG. Oh, he did the thing! That was nice. Thank you for sharing that, Maggie Moorang. I did laugh. Oh, it's bugged. Why is it bugged? I haven't touched this code in months, man. Why? I'll investigate. You'll get your coins, Megamoo, don't worry. It's fine. It's still in there. Okay. Oh yeah, we had one more. Oh, it's the same video? Okay. Same video times 2. Is there any new wilds? Oh, this is what I want to see. Raw gameplay. Oh, dude. Okay. I'm not gonna focus. I mean, it's hard not to focus on the UI because it's all over my face right now. Because it can easily get modded to be better. But right off the bat, way too much UI, man. But it doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying what I see. Wait, like this is gonna, this 3D effect, that's gonna, it's gonna take some time.
Wow, what a view! Sure are a lot of monsters there. That alpha is our target. The quest will begin once you've dealt enough damage to it.
Huh.
Got it.
Alright, the hunter talks now. Switch weapon. Switch weapon, huh?
I'll just hop off for now. Here we go! Another monster boarding in! I'm really trying not to focus on the UI.
I really am trying not to. It's really difficult though. Jesus Christ, man. Like, the UI definitely seems like still early days, so it's not the final UI, because it all still kind of feels disconnected. I don't know how else to put it. But I hope that the default UI will still get revised, because goddamn.
Large dung clouds could force the pack to disperse.
Oh, that's still there too, huh? It feels like... I know I keep talking about the UI, but it's a good thing because, so, you know, my biggest complaint so far is the UI, so that's a good thing. But it feels like it's made for mobile. I can't help but notice, man. I hate it.
Looks like it's moving to a new area.
I cannot unsee.
All ready when you are.
Like all this Wilds gameplay has really made me realize just how much a good UI or UI can make or break a game. It's insane. How much it can change the perception of the game. The UI alone. It's crazy. Wilds really opened my eyes to that. You play with UI and then without UI, it's two different games. Two different experiences. Like this, oh dude, man.
Power up, activated.
Like, it all started with World, man, displaying the damage numbers, which is good for practicing, right? But it no longer makes it Monster Hunter from one perspective, from a visual standpoint, right? Then it just looks like Phantasy Star Portable all of a sudden, right? It's a different game. But you disable that UI, we're back in Monster Hunter, right? That's what made the games pop so much, because you didn't see the boss HP and you didn't see the damage numbers. You just had to figure it out based on the reaction of the boss, right? Now there's way too much information on the screen. It's too much. Like, you spend more time looking at the UI instead of the boss reactions or something. You know what I mean?
Careful! That's one furious blow.
Was there a world demo? I would love to see that too. Just to see if the UI was also kinda janky. It probably was.
Weather's changing.
He got murphed. I'm liking all the gameplay though. Like, I have no issues with it at all. But I will have to really disable a lot of the UI or use a mod that changes the UI. Because it's not gonna feel like a Monster Hunter game to me anymore. And this is an early build, so they'll definitely refine the UI by the time it gets released, so it might still, you know. But I'm really trying to just think away all the UI right now, and then I'm enjoying every gameplay second. But like this stuff, like please, like get rid of it, man. Get rid of it. Also, blood. Please show blood. Don't show rocks, man. Show some blood. What's up with all the sand? God damn. I know we're in a sandy environment, but oh, like in World did that too, man. It's so nasty. How you just keep slicing rocks from a boss. Where's the blood, man? Change weapon? Oh yeah, you can pick up the bombs now. That is very cool. Oh, that's nice. Whoa! Oh, you use a bomb to okay. Oh, nice. That is cool. Climb the dead body.
Another quest down.
Nice. So does it matter now where you carve? If you want the heart, you have to carve close to the heart. What if they're out of bounds, right? I recognize that audio. Is that the boss or the minion? Is that a boss? Yeah. It looks like a minion. Oh yeah, the Palico talks. Oh wow. Man, thank God for mods, man. Thank a lot of things for mods. I'm sure you can, yeah. We go solo, huh, boys? What's the current release date? Summer 2025? It's not too much longer then, though. Spring 2025? That's definitely not a lot of time. It's gonna be here quick, huh? Huh? Oh, dude, I hate that, man. When they say boss is gonna leave the locale soon, man. I dread seeing that message pop up. Have they shown mounting at all? Oh! Oh! Oh, did they?
May this be of use.
Oh! That's like a King Kong reference. Splitting open the mouth like that. Right? This here? That's King Kong. How is he still alive? Holy crosshair. Dragon Piercer. Oh, in 10 seconds we're gonna see if the timer updates correctly for the hour mark. Buck plus 1. 3, 2, 1. Hey, nice. That looks correct. Very nice. Alright. Oh yeah, I'll write down the bug with the share media reward thing. Boom. You instantly get items if you break parts. Is that the same in World? No, I don't think so. That's cool. That's fine. That's cool. Instant rewards. Yeah, that's a good thing. You know what I wonder? What World and Wild would look like if they applied the same static OG camera concept, right? Like imagine 4 Ultimate's camera perspective with the player in the center, right? I wonder what the games would look like if they applied that. Maybe there's a mod for that. Just thinking. Little snacky on the tree.
My word.
The camera, I mean, in the older games, the camera is a lot more fixed, right? It's less dynamic, more controlled, more of an overview. Right? See how still the camera is? And it revolves around the player? And you're moving like on one axis. It's a lot more controlled in the older games. It's also the FOV it's a lot more zoomed out in the older games. In the newer games, you're much closer to your hunter at all times, right? So I just wonder if you applied this FOV to the newer games and this static, more fixed camera system. I'm not saying they should stick to, you know, they shouldn't try new stuff. I'm all for new stuff. I'm just curious because I keep trying to word what makes Monster Hunter for me, right? What is that? What are those elements that make or break that immersion factor for me? Right? What is it about the older games that made me addicted? Really, deep down, what is it? It's nice to think. Oh yeah, by the way, I fixed the mini player in Starkeness. Right, I need you to know this. I'm just do this and do that and do this and do that. Let's get in there, right? Let's lock in. Mini player, right? I've rewritten the mini player. So this is all good. If you hover over it, it will show the extra buttons to go back and to play and pause. Yeah, play and pause is working, which is nice. There is still, you know, it's because of the Twitch player, but I'll remove the red as well soon. It's just for development purposes. Like that, right? Bam. It's correctly bound to the window, which is good. And now you can go anywhere in Starkeness while watching the stream. So that's very good. Bless you. I redesigned this page for extending your trail and your progress towards the next layer, right? It's more lined out now. It should be very obvious what you need to do. I changed the icons here too for the 5 achievements that you have to achieve for obvious reasons. All the perks are dynamically generated here. We have 6 placeholder badges. You can find more information if you click on the levels. Custom emotes should work. Managing, deleting, yeah, it's a good change. Right. At first I wanted to separate the layer perks and the trail perks, but now just fuse them together, and it seems to be fine. So this is the area where you'll manage all your customizable stuff as well, for the most part. There is like your profile editor that you will of course have on the profile page, aka the your void page, right? That's your profile, which will be this button eventually, and or the button in the middle will be the current void that you're in, and then on the left it's either your void or Starke's void, and then I think the other one will be browse voids, so you can search other people on Starkeness, which I think will be really cool. Like imagine if this button on the right is a browser, right, for other people's voids, and then say that you want to find someone who plays Monster Hunter, or is good at math, or speaks Japanese, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like, this would be the place to find people, right? And you know that they'll be cool because they are Fadamakas, right? It's a win-win. Now that I just said that, I think that's gonna be a thing now. The Void Browser. It's not gonna be a friends system, but more like just discover other people's system thing, right? Whatever. Yeah, and badges are shown now too in chat. Boom, just the placeholder badges, but on that chat as well, the badges are shown. If you are a Maka, then the badge will be in grayscale. If you're a Fadamaka, it's gonna be in color over time. You could still do this as well. Very nice. And that's it for now. Yep. Will this prediction work? Yes, no. Go. Oh, I see the Twitch announcements aren't working anymore. I'll investigate. Another bug found. Twitch announcements. Not that I care too much, because it's a dependency, right? But prediction, nice. And then eventually it's gonna pop up on the alerts webpage. And I think for the events there's gonna be golden icons on the stream above that red thing. Whenever there's an active event, Scare Starke, prediction, or poll, or whenever TTS is muted, I'll have another icon for that as well. Just like these icons, yeah. These will also appear on the screen, on the stream. Yeah. And then I'll add a cancel prediction button here for the mods. And that'll be that. Polls soon. Then I have to do all the help help info sections. Yeah. We will enable Traily Bail and chat. I'm thinking about the battle arena. Starke OST should begin soon as well. Forums a little bit later. Community progress is already done in a way, kinda. It just needs more data, and then the reward mechanic as well. So every time that you contribute to any of these cores, you will receive progress coins, which will count as your submission amount. Or that sounds wrong. Submission... What's the right way to say it? It's like your rank, right? The more that you commit to any of these 4 cores, the higher the number will be. And then at the end of the community progress, you'll probably get those as progress coins. And if you happen to have one of the highest amounts, then you also win the community progress reward, or like your reward submission will be the winner, right? If you submitted the reward saying Starke go skydive and you win, then I have to go skydive, right? Please don't win. Right. I might just call it contribution amount, man, because if I called progress coin... I was trying to just stick to only progress coins throughout Starkeness to, you know, because the more kind of currencies or metric types that you use, the more confusing it is. But in this case, I guess I'll just call it contribution amount, and it will be a normal number that increases based on what you've contributed to and how much. And then at the end, that number will be converted to progress coins that you will receive whenever the community progress is done, right? AKA when all 5 cores are filled up. And then, depending on what that number was for you, right? We're gonna see who the top 10 people were or something, and then the top 10 people get a free trail for X amount of months or something, and I don't know, like, you know, stuff like that. Wait, is this the same video? Did we already see this? Why did it go back? Oh, did I go back?
My word.
Oh yeah, we did. I'm sorry. Right. Okay. Oh, no gameplay audio? Come on, man. It's not the same, man. Better. Oh, now the announcements work. Oh, also, it's not gonna be too much longer until all the conditionals are set for all the trail perks, which means, like, for TTS, TTS only gets unlocked in layer... Even I don't know anymore. When do you get TTS? TTS gets unlocked in layer 3. Okay, so if you're not layer 3, you will not be able to use TTS, obviously. Which means in Twitch chat, exclamation TTS will not work for everyone anymore. The bot will tell you that you're not layer 3, of course. And you're not a Fadamaka, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's all gonna get synced really soon, so enjoy it while it lasts, right? I mean, to be honest, it's been on like this for years, so people definitely had their fill. And I was thinking, you know, what if I make TTS, if you're maxed out, it becomes available permanently, which I did mention could be a thing, but I'll have to revise that again. I mean, it's good for spam reasons, right? To put this behind a Fadamaka thing, right? As a trail perk. That only people who are trailing can use TTS, and then people who aren't trailing can pay X amount of progress coins to send a TTS or something. Because just imagine if there's hundreds of billions of people all using Starkeness all at once, sending TTS messages constantly, it's gonna be too much, right? So we need some moderation there. That's where I'm coming from, right? Governance is probably gonna move to an earlier layer as well, because I want to hear people's input a lot sooner than that, you know? Yeah, whatever. Oh damn, Hellish Splitter is pretty lightweight. No memory leaks, huh? A sign of a well-coded software application. That's good. That's right. Does it still pass? Yeah. Well, I've never heard Reido's audio before. I want to hear that again. Looks like Steve from this angle. Looks like he has multiple eyes too. These little dots. Looks pretty cool! I'll be quiet. You can definitely see the Astalos skeleton in there. We're just gonna yeet her. He's weak, he's ready. I like it. I like it. This is the way. That's really cool. Charge blade.
くるやく待たせたなみんな。他は特筆することもないか。もう一つの下場攻撃は切り払いなくらいで、次は新しいシステムの銀強化だね。今までは赤そこから計算すると縦強化の2つで成功してた。全然狙えそうな GP だから上手い人は活用できそう。あと縦強化の話ついでに言っておくと、僕の予想通り従来の縦強化が強化されてたよ。具体的には高出力のモーションに入ってから R を押した瞬間縦強化になってた。
I feel ya on that. Should make a beat out of this AI voice? I definitely can. I could switch to the drum view and then link or use the Chrome audio as an input for the external input on my SPDSX Pro, record that, and then I can live sample it and use it for one of the pads. Yeah, I can do that. That's crazy. Man, don't put music over the music. You know what I mean? I love watching these raw gameplay videos, but not with... He's gonna keep doing it, huh? God. Raw gameplay.
Hey guys, it's Paradise, and today many.
Yeah, it's just how this to the weapon.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm very positive about it. The only, my only complaint is the UI, which doesn't mean much because it's easily customizable. So it's looking good. It's looking good. Was there anything else? I'm not logged in. Nope. We move. Next game. That was enjoyable. I know boy Fame isn't here, but it is what it is, man. Shame. We would have died to witness this. What do we play now? Did I have a charge blade on World, Megamoo? Did I buy one, or was it the Switch? What did I buy last time? I upgraded something last time. Was it the orange one? Oh, nice. Ooh. Okay. Dear Lord. I look all cooked. What should I play now then? I don't know. A 103 gigs? Damn! I'll download it offline. There is Blood Omen, yeah. I think I put a lot of the games on a external drive somewhere. I'm very surprised that they already have DLC so quickly. It's nice. Fury. October 8th, Silent Hill 2. Nice. Still no announcement for Paranormal Tales? Man, I hope they didn't cancel it, man. Just for that one scare. In VR, right? I'll buy a VR headset for that game. I'll do it. Still no mic bus, so the secret really lies in putting the cable at a high place. Nutty. Megamoo, what should I play besides World? There's gotta be something, man. I need something to suck me in, right? I want some good story mode or something. Just something laid back, but still engaging and immersive, right? Give me a point and click. What else is there? Oh. No, I have to try too hard for that. I just want to relax and enjoy a good story or something. You know? Now I feel in the mood for that. So, I gotta capitalize on it. So, The Longest Journey is an easy pick, huh? Definitely. I thought I already downloaded this, The Wolf Among Us, true. With the new one coming out. Not wrong. This is the game that sold me on Telltale games, for sure. I don't know if it is the first. Maybe? The Walking Dead? When's the second Wolf Among Us coming out? I honestly like the Batman one too. I only watched it from streams, but I enjoyed that one too. Those are the only two that I've seen. I thought I had this Fable. The last chapters. Delayed? Is it time? Is today the day? Oh man. You can attack me by using your claws. The Eternal Prison. I had heard of such a place. Never realized it was so close to Meridian. How do I reach it? Vorador. The reformed Sado-hedonist of Termakin Forest. I met him once already in his new role of patriarch. I still knew not to trust him. Ah yes, who but the father of vampires would lead the resistance? I am honored, Forador. I need no false courtesies from you, Kane. We are allies only by necessity. But you are welcome to Sanctuary. It's not the splendor of your former castle, but I suppose it will have to do. It serves. But time is short. Seraphan's power grows by the day. Soon our every haven will be discovered. We are facing extinction once more. They fought once before, they had but you proved them wrong. You summoned an army. And from... I don't know. You created a new race, and from that race I had my army. This is the original longest journey. That was good times, man, but I feel like everyone will fall asleep watching this, so as much as I love it, I don't think it's a stream game. Because it's a very slow burner, right? But which I love, right? I love games like this, but for streaming, it's tough. Especially if you're not watching it from the beginning, right? If you're joining halfway through, then it's even more difficult. Which is why I wanted to create a command that people could use in the chat to give them a quick recap of the event so far. Yu-Gi-Oh time? Do we go again from the beginning? On the other side? Oh yeah, let's see if there was an early world demo to see what that looked like. Early access demo. What? Bruh. Okay. Cut content from world. Announcement trailer. First gameplay demo.
Times happening here, starting with the release. Would you guys like to talk a little bit about how you're releasing the game?
Yes, 時代からやってるシリーズですけど、今回のワールドでいろんな初めて
ね、よりこのフィールドまずですね、一つと
Now there's no loading screens, totally seamless transition
になってるので。
And they all have their own kind of desires and interactions, and as a hunter you're jumping into this world that's kind of going on around you, and you can use their interactions and the way they work with and against each other to your advantage in the hunt as well.
All right, speaking on that note,
はい、あれはですね、このクエストにはですね、最大4人まで行くことが可能になってて。
Do the quest and get them to help you take him down. So
and we saw that in the trailer.
Yeah. That is so great. But with that being said, are we still going to have our hunter lounges? Because I really like being able to meet my friends beforehand.
日本版が発売してちょっと遅れてはアクションです。アクションは
to showcase and demonstrate, as a demo would obviously do, the new graphical capabilities and dynamic and more immersive environment. The graphics were clearly something they were trying to show off with how good the textures were for the forest areas traversed in this build. Of course, there were some ups and downs for the textures throughout, especially towards the end where the hunter was getting chased by the Anjanath. There was a lot of textures throughout that segment where you could tell there was a big contrast between the beginning of the demonstration and the end, but of course it was an early build, so there's obviously going to be a lot of things unfinished and a few things that might have been close to finished. And it was clear to see in the water as well how realistic it was looking and what they were striving to achieve with World, especially how they were trying to stray away from how the older Monster Hunters looked and going for a lot more realistic westernized take on the game.
My mouse on
they
the
did
screen?
a great job with the colours for the
thought
most
it
part
looked so
as well,
big,
with the lights being very light and the darks being very dark. You know, and it was stated
light lights and dark darks.
But regardless, it is the ancient forest, and you can see the little Jaguar scurrying around from time to time early on in the demonstration, as well as the Aptonoff getting chased by the Anjanath. All of this looks relatively normal. One of the clear differences, however, was in the mounting mechanic and how that played out as a whole. Of course, the initiation of it was relatively normal. The Hunter came in from the air, did a great sword downward slash, and it triggered straight into the mounting mechanic. For the most part, it was looking normal, but the Anjanath did seem to be more aware of its environment, and of course that could just lead to just more scripting in general for the demonstration to make it look good and just to
it looks very different. It will have fur on its back.
World. It did manage to knock down a tree at one point as well. And of course we did get quite an immersive mounting mechanic.
I mean, that's how development
build,
works.
but I don't think it was as immersive as the one they showed here, where it was a lot more aware of its environment. Once again, scripting does play a big part in demonstrations before a game's release for those demo builds that they showcase to the public, as of course they do want to make the game look good. The Hunter was able to stay on the monster when it became entangled in the vines as well after the tree knockdown, until way later on where it was finally pushed off it when the Anjanath got knocked to the floor. In the world version, I'm not sure if they just reduced the amount of time you can stay mounted, or if they just changed the overall idea of how the mounting would have worked. But regardless, it is definitely different to what was publicly released for Monster Hunter World. And this was followed by a very unusual segment where, I say unusual, but it's not in a bad way, it's more of in a very unlike Monster Hunter way, at least with the Monster Hunters we've gotten so far, where the Hunter was actually chased by an Anjanath in a very realistic fashion, and the Hunter ends up climbing up some vines, as you can see in the background, and it was in world style, so he was using the clutch claw to help him up. But the Anjanath was in hot pursuit. The segment does feel quite scripted. The Anjanath was following the Hunter quite well.
It's like that Tiggy in for
reacting
Ultimate.
to the environment very well as well. I think it will be quite a while, quite a few iterations of Monster Hunter games before we get something like this in the actual release, as I think it will take a lot of just memory and a lot of developer skill to get this down for every monster on the various maps they could show up on. So it would be pretty cool to have this in, but I do think it was quite unrealistic, especially for World at the time. They were clearly trying to showcase a much more realistic and immersive hunting experience. Of course, we got the chase, and then after the chase, we got the hiding parts of the demonstration, and there was even a part that was captured like a horror or thriller game, where the Anjanath peeks into a cavity where the Hunter was hiding, only to once again pursue the fleeing Hunter when he sniffed him out and found him.
No way.
But in general, I do think it was a pretty cool demonstration. As long as it's not like stretched too far, it's always nice to try and reach above what is planned. And I think that's what they did here. They did have to cut back on what they were showcasing in this demo for the final release, which is understandable. A lot of games do it. At least it wasn't like The Division, where they went like above and beyond for the demo and then the actual game. Even though it was a good game, you might think it's a bad game, but it was a decent game. But I think the E3 demonstration definitely took a lot away from the game because of what people were expecting for the final release. But of course, that's a story for another day. And then finally, we did get a nice look at the dam break system, which of course was in the final game at the Rathalos Nest. And here, the scenery of course is a little different. Like I said, it is the ancient forest, but it's not the exact one we ended up getting. And the Anjanath was washed away, as you would expect, the Hunter following the current. Just like in the final release, everything was going as normal, and the Hunter used his clutch claw last second to cling onto a tree to avoid the fall damage, even though I don't think there's fall damage in Monster Hunter games, not that I can remember. And then we got the most disappointing cut of all. The Leviathan, Lagiacrus, comes out of nowhere and swallows the Anjanath while it is stunned on the floor, and I think this was a really disappointing cut. Lagiacrus is definitely one of my favourite monsters out of the entire franchise. I wouldn't say it's number one, but it's definitely up there, as 3U was one of my most played and most nostalgic games, and Lagiacrus was one of the icons of Generation 3, so it was quite a shame that we were so close to having it in World and Leviathans as a whole, and that of course includes Mizutsune as well, which is another fan favourite. We were so close to having them, and then they were cut, so I would not be surprised if in Monster Hunter 6 or Monster Hunter World 2, whatever it ends up being, I wouldn't be surprised if we got Leviathans, and especially Lagiacrus, Mizutsune, and even some of the new ones that we've got in Rise, to a Monster Hunter title screen. And that was the end of this prototype build. I think overall the demonstration was pretty solid. If I saw it before the game's release, I would have definitely been hyped for sure, but even viewing it after so long, it was still a pretty fun watch. Let me know down below, guys, what you thought of it and what you think of cut content in general. It
was cool. I guess I'll just go. Nothing really pops up, so meh. Is what it is. I'll be back Thursday or Friday. If Hellish Splitter is... I mean, it's been holding up pretty well today, so that's a good sign. Just gonna see if all the times are still correct. Pretty good so far. Final test with the web alert. If I do this and then this, nice. I love that already. That's very nice. And then I can put whatever data in that message later. Cool. Cool. Whatever you want to watch, Meg. I'm gonna continue work on Starkeness. Or maybe not, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting close to the burnout again. But it's the only thing that I want to work on, so... You know. Oh yeah, one more thing about that battle arena mechanic. So one of the aspects would be like... like this.
And while the Z yet, or just before players ever get into battle, strength determines the damage of physical attacks, key determines the damage of beam attacks, and accordingly. After all, not all of the characters can support. Command cards mostly cover the basic attacks players will use in the game. These come in the form of stage attacks, such as 3-stage, 4-stage,
3-stage, right? You start an attack,
5-stage, and so on.
You get a button input combo.
Stage attack the player chooses, the longer the button combo required to complete that attack. These attacks also build up CC, which is going to help us use other cards, such as attack, defense, or support cards. Moving on to attack cards, these are the main way players will win fights and don't require button prompts to perform. Attack cards come in two flavors.
I want something like this for the battle arena. Turn-based, obviously. But then it kind of, you know, what's the nitty-gritty about, right? What makes it all juicy? It's the ability to kind of predict what your opponent is gonna do on their turn, right? So you can one turn early, right? Before your opponent's turn, when they're about to attack, you can already fly up in the sky. And then your opponent doesn't know that yet, and they're preparing their attack, and then they would attack, but you would be flying up, so you would be safe. So that would be a good idea, right? And that's nice, that dynamic. I like that.
Physical and beam. Depending on the character's stats, they might prefer one type of attack over the other. I was a heavy beam user on dunk shot that make use of the strength stat instead. No matter which route the player goes, attack cards are devastating. If you play your cards right, you might only need to use one or two of these to defeat an opponent, and it bears mentioning that attack cards can only be used on the player's attack phase. With defense cards, a lot more of the strategy of LSW comes into play, and that's because not all defense cards are built equal. For example, there's the Avoid and Endurance cards. Avoid allows the player to completely dodge a beam attack, but if this is used whenever the enemy uses a physical attack, you'll take it to the face, no damage reduction or anything. On the flip side of that, Endurance has the player performing a strong block, which increases the resistance to both beam and physical attack.
That was a good call.
attacks. You'll still take damage, but it's a safer bet since players can't know what type of attack an enemy is.
It's got to be something like this, because this is very doable from a network standpoint. You know, there's not going to be problems with like lag, you know, because the server will nicely wait until both players have made their choice, right? So that's very promising in that regard. I like that. Then I can dynamically generate your character based on your Fadamaka editor, right? To make a miniature version. I mean, I'm not going for exactly this, right? But I'm just thinking out loud. Like, I don't know what the attacks will be based on progress, I guess. But how far can you really take that? You know, do I want to use like beams? But then what's the symbolism behind those, you know? So there's so many questions to be asked and answered
these cards
first.
are limited to use during a player's defense phase.
It has to make sense.
Players can use support cards during both the attack and defense phases. On top of all of this,
like there could be a Murph card, right? And if you play the Murph card, then your opponent will miss their current attack, right? Guaranteed.
there's a few other deck options worth mentioning before we get into the actual battles themselves. Each turn, a player draws a new card from their deck. This is where command, attack, defense, and support go. Players do have a hand size.
5-stage attack, so a 5-button input thing. And I want to do something similar, like with the... it's like the server is going to send you a dynamically generated maze or something, right? And depending on the complexity of your attack, the maze would be more complex, and you have to draw a route throughout the maze or something. If you draw and you get stuck, then that's what then your damage will be limited or something. If you're able to get through the maze in one go, then it's 100% damage. If you start drawing your trail throughout the maze and you let go, then you get nothing or something. But then that's still bypassable on the client side, so that's not ideal, which is why there's a time limit for you to traverse the maze, obviously. So the server tracks when it gets a response from the user whose turn it is, right, to determine if it's still a valid completion or not. And then it's also gonna analyze the received draw pattern, right, that the user drew to traverse the maze or something, and then it's gonna compare the original sent maze puzzle and then what the user has done. And I can't think immediately of a way to cheat that, which is good. Like, you would need AI, I guess, to, as soon as you receive the image, analyze the picture and deduce the fastest way to traverse the maze. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, but the chances of people actually doing that is slim anyway. But just, you know, if it ever happens, then how do I combat that? That's tricky. Like, imagine if someone figures out how to, as soon as they receive the generated image from the server, they have an AI ready and waiting for that image to arrive and to immediately solve the puzzle and send it back. So they would get it in a world record time and a perfect score every time because of their AI that they're using. So that's bad. So I need some additional form of verification to prove that it was a human input somehow, which is tough with AI being a thing. So yeah, those are the kind of questions that I have to ask first before committing to a concept.
From their hand regularly.
But I do like this button input thing. But this is so easily hackable, right? Yeah, again, the chances that people will hack on the ballerina is not a lot. It can happen, of course, right? And I like to implement things with the mindset of this will people will try to hack this, right? How do I counter a potential cheater? Regardless of how slim the chances are that it will actually
And last
happen.
but not least is the basic
It's
deck.
good practice.
This is made up of a few actions that change depending on the phase of the turn. If you're in attack phase, it allows the player to perform a 3-stage attack or to gather.
I mean, you know, we can take this pretty far because, you know, I can simply use the whole progress thing, and then the Fadamaka in question who's battling, they're able to control their progress to take whatever shape, right? Can take the shape of a hammer for impact damage. Can take the shape of a beam for long range damage. Could take the shape of a shield, right? So that's pretty covered. That's good. And then, you know, we can make that look whatever you want based on your color settings. You know, that's all extra stuff, you know, to customize the appearance of your weapon of choice. That's whatever. That's afterwards. That doesn't matter right now. It's all cosmetics. And not like I think it's a combination of this game's mechanics, and then the other one will be Harry Potter. Chamber of Secrets. The way combat was done there, there's something in there as well that I want to use. Game Boy Color. Yeah. I like this. I like this. Hold on. Let me just find a normal battle. There's like there's an area in the game where you can challenge students of later years, which I always found cool. Like the dueling room, I think it was called. Dueling room. And to get to layer 2, oh no, layer 3, sorry, you have to traverse the mountain, right? And so right now you always have 5 achievements that you have to complete. But to get from layer 2 to 3, I want to add one more static achievement that you have to complete, which says you have to win 1 battle in the battle arena, right? And I was thinking, okay, what if it's you have to win 1 battle against a layer 5 Fadamaka or something, but that's too specific, so I'm not gonna do that. Just innocent, win 1 battle, right? To boost engagement with the battle arena. And the super cool thing is, man, right? In Starkeness, the battle arena fights will look pretty simplistic. But later, because it's all shared data, I'll be able to visualize a battle in real time, on stream, in the void. And there I can make it look as epic as I want, right? So that's gonna be sick, man, right? Just because it's all shared data across the ecosystem, right? And then in the Unreal Engine project for the Void, right, the 3D world, then we'll be able to watch you guys fight live and do all kinds of cool stuff. Oh, dude, it seems so far away, man. But I guess it is. But you know, I can't wait to start working on that. But first things first, of course. I'm still working on the core, right? But it's only a matter of time. Also turn-based, right? I love how those numbers pop up on top of their head. For some reason, it's so addicting. It's always the small things, man, the small details. It's gonna be a combination of these two games, man. The combat, I already know. Because like all your progress stems from within you, right? From the mind, you're able to conjure whatever you want, right? As long as it's TOS friendly, of course. But that's good because it's gonna allow me to get away with a lot of things. Like, you know, you could summon whatever. It could be a magical thing, but it could be a power boost instead. Like, we can do all the things in one setting, which is nice. It could give you an ability, could allow you to fly, whatever. So there's definitely a lot of room for scalability. That's good. I guess this combat is more straightforward than the Dragon Ball Z one, because this one takes place on one layer, right? No pun intended. Just one vertical, one horizontal line, and the Dragon Ball Z one was multiple lines, so it creates a lot of verticality. Right? It needs to be these two games and then chess as well, because I want there to be a lot of big brain moves, right? Which will make me go, oh, live on stream, right? When I'm watching a live battle in the void, and then someone does a big brain move, and they're like 1 HP, heroics reference, right? And then they turn it all around or something. Oh, come on, man. Yes. I see the potential. You know, it'll just take a while to, you know, get the proper blueprint for the battle arena, but you know, it's only a matter of time, like all these other things. But of course, first things first. And right now it's all about the trail perks to bring them back. Then I'll test the trail extension code again, and then people can start trailing and make use of, you know, all the perks. Get the progress in. Then community progress needs to be handled 100% as well, which ties in together with the hellish run. It's looking good though, man. Like always, you know, the work just keeps piling up, but it is what it is. It's all a necessary part, so yeah. The Starke OST area should be very doable as well. I've been thinking about that a lot as well. Not recently, but there was a time, like a couple of weeks ago, about all the ins and outs, how I want to manage the area. If you're on in the Android version, right? Whenever we bring that back, like I said, like the Starkeness.com will first be finished completely, and then I'll port it over to the Android thing again, and then the desktop version. And on Android, if you are in the Starke OST area, I'll make it so you'll be able to listen to it in the background as well. Even if you close the app, hopefully, if that's possible. It should be possible. And just like with the live stream, right? If you close the Android app, you can still watch the stream in a picture-in-picture, which was the best feature by far. Yeah, and so on and so on. God, I wish I could finish it all in one night, man. But I just can't. And time flies by 100 times as fast nowadays as well. Like an all-nighter is nothing anymore. It feels like 5 minutes and it's 7 in the morning. And I finished like one feature. And I know what I'm doing, right? It's not that I'm stuck. I know exactly what I'm doing, but sometimes it just takes that much time to properly implement a feature and properly test it, right? And then, you know, then there's still bugs after that, but it is what it is. It's all good. I'm gonna go fix these buggies from today. Sorry for the short stream, like, yeah, but it is what it is. If I don't feel like playing anything, I shouldn't, right? Nothing pops out, so when are we gonna finish this butter cake, man? Feels like it's gonna be here forever, which is bad because there's only bless you, there's only 6 more days before it expires, so gotta do something fast. But anyway, so I'll fix the share media reward thing, which will probably be a minor server bug. And then the hotkeys do not work. They work right now. If I'm focused on Chrome or anything else, but for Frontier it didn't work. Which probably has to do with the fact that it's a full screen application or something. And hopefully there's a fix for that. If there isn't, then... I mean, it worked with Citra, and I'm pretty sure I was playing in full screen. Actually, I'll test it out real quick to see if it works or not. Did I close it? This would be a perfect test then. Alright, so we got the splitter. Let's start for Ultimate. Let's go full screen. Just gotta load it. If this does work on full screen and it didn't work with Frontier, then... Ah, see, it does work. So that's an interesting difference. So it works now. Yeah, it works fine. Even if I'm in game, which I am. Boom, no problems. Bam! Did Devil Joe just spawn in twice there? Huh. Oh! He does! That's a bug. Wait, why? Why did he spawn in twice? I just found another bug. Goddamn. Alright. Pickle spawns in twice after run reset. Please fix. I know where to look, so that's fine. Alright, well that's good for the Gogma Balls run then, you know, in case if there is no immediate fix. At least it's gonna work for Ultimate. So Frontier is an exception for now, but there should be a fix for it anyway. Maybe it... Actually, I'm not sure why. I can only think it's because of some full screen priority thing, or maybe there's hotkeys in Frontier that conflict with my hotkeys, but that shouldn't matter. So, I don't know. At least it works for Ultimate, so that's good. Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, all the features will soon be locked behind layers, right? And you being a Faramaka or not, right? But not to worry, right? Like in most cases the reasoning is to prevent spam, right? Like I said earlier, the stream is only gonna keep growing over time, so more and more people will use Starkeness. which means more and more TTS messages will come my way, which means more spam, potentially, right? So I have to put these features behind some walls, which is also why a TTS will cost progress coins by default, right? If you're a Fadamaka, TTS becomes free, right? As long as you are a Fadamaka, that makes sense too. Yeah. And so on. You know, same for Scare Starke, same for Share Media, and whatever else. Let me go through my list one more time. Fix the spawn in Hellish Splitter. Twitch announcements not working, even though they did work for the prediction, so that's half and half. Hotkeys not working in Frontier, which is whatever. Think about the battle arena mechanic, right? It's gonna be a combination of the Harry Potter game, the Dragon Ball Z game, and chess, right? High IQ plays, very nice. Make emote submissions appear in the mod review? Yes. Oh yeah, that was another thing. So, I was thinking, how do I deal if there are multiple mods handling the same review, case review, right? Imagine if multiple mods are looking at the same emote submission of a user, and one mod says approve and the other mod says deny, right? So then you have a race condition. Whoever pressed the button first will probably win. But I don't want that to happen. So instead, what I'll do is, if you're a mod or a prefect, right? Which is a mod. If you are a prefect and you go to the mod... So I should probably call it prefect zone instead, just to avoid confusion. But people are more used to seeing the word mod, so that's why it's still there. If you're on the mod page, you'll see all the categories for potential submissions, right? Could be emote submissions, share medias, profile picture changes, right? Just to avoid people using, you know, things that aren't TOS friendly, because that will happen, which is also why just changing your profile picture is locked behind a wall, aka you have to be layer 2, I think. It's for the best, trust me. Same for your banner, right? As soon as you reach layer 2, you will be able to customize your profile, right? Yeah, so those things, I mean, it's it's gonna be too much if we have to approve every single profile picture change. So I probably won't do it for profile pictures or banners. So it'll be more like, you know, if the user gets found, they get reported and they get banned. Instead of having to verify every single profile picture change, it's gonna be too much over time. So yeah, we'll just have to believe that people will be nice. Which they won't be, right? Sooner or later there will be a person who tests the system, so we have to be ready for that. So as soon as a prefect clicks on any of the categories on the server side, I'm gonna make them enter a WebSocket room, right? And while they're in that room, they will receive one case item to review, which means if another mod joins that category, they will not be able to receive any item that is currently being reviewed by another mod, which is good, right? Because it's going to decrease or even eliminate the chances of an item being both approved and denied. Which again, in that case, would be a race condition, and then one of them will win. But I want to eliminate that completely. So with that system, it shouldn't happen where two mods can review the same thing at the same time. Of course, if mod 1 joins a category and they receive an item and they don't do anything with it and they just leave it and they leave the room, then, you know, when mod 2 tunes in, they can then receive the item again, of course, because it's available for review. So there's going to be a list on the server that tracks all the currently reviewed items, and then they get kind of blacklisted for or excluded from other mods, or from the fetching functionality, to just exclude those items that are currently being looked at by a mod. Yeah, and then there's also every item that you review. For some of them, you will instantly receive progress coins. For others, you'll only receive them later, like for the share media, right? You'll only receive them after I watched the shared media on stream, right? That makes sense. Every item that you review, your name will also be included in the metadata for the reviewed item. If you review an intro theme or an emote, right? As soon as you select approve, then your name will be added to the data in a column called approved by, right? Just so I can monitor the work of the mods and see if they are doing good work. Because imagine if there's an emote with an offensive image and it got approved by Maggie Moo, then I have to question, you know, what's going on here? Stuff like that. Just for monitor purposes. So there's that. The next trail perk that I'll implement, now that the custom emote one is kind of wrapped up, it's like 95% done. Just a couple of edge cases, really. The next one will be the custom alerts perk, which includes the intro theme alert, your own donation alert, your own gifted trails alert, and whatever else, whatever else, or your custom trail alert, maybe when you increase your trail. That's a 50-50. You know, it's either gonna be some set alerts just for the sake of immersion, but maybe I can combine both. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I can still have like a foundational alert for whenever someone trails or extends their trail, and then have it customized with their alert as well. I can imagine the result already, so that's good. So yeah, so you can either choose to upload your own custom alert, image and audio for some, or you can choose the alerts to be the default ones, like the default Starke alerts. So you'll have a drop-down list, and depending on what you choose, it's gonna show you the inputs to upload your own files, and these will be approved by mods as well, obviously. Any type of alert, yeah, so that's good. Your border color and your username color are now also part of the same trail perk, called profile customization or something, and in the first level you'll be able to set your alias, border color, username color, and then level 2, whatever. It's already on starkeness.com, so you can read it. And these levels might still interchange, you know, it's a time thing. Yeah, there's that, just to get another perk crossed off the list, right? Then in the CS Labs software, I'll add the change category input. Whenever I switch games or categories, I can update it there in my software, and then as soon as I press save, it's gonna send a notification to specific people who have those notifications enabled, right, for category switches. They'll receive the notification on Android and later on the desktop version as well, saying that I've switched to something else. That's that. And then it's also going to update the stream info completely on the stream page, which is the bottom left button, which is currently disabled still. But if you tap that button, it's going to open up a little menu saying the stream title, uptime, and whatever, you know, classic data that you want to find in there. Like stream schedule will probably be in there as well. Or upcoming streams, like big marathon streams or something. Stuff like that, just handy stuff. And that's it, that's all my to-dos for right now. I haven't written down anything else, so I'm gonna go work on that right now. And that's it. I'll probably start eating this butter cake too. So I'll be back Thursday or Friday if I feel like it. Especially now, I should only stream when I really feel like streaming. And that's it, man. 4 hours and 20 minutes. Let's go. Perfect timing. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good rest of your night. Morning, noon. Wherever you might be from. And peace and Gyojina. Talk soon, but for now, you're on your own, right? Get some mighty fine progress in. Tell me all about it in the next stream. And that's it, man. Yep. I really have to get the hellish run going, man, because that's gonna consume me at least game-wise. If I don't have something like that, I just feel clueless what I should play. If there's nothing on the radar. But the hellish runs suck me in, right? That's like... That's where it is, man. That's where it's at. But it's looking like, you know, we're pretty much there. The only remaining thing for the hellish splitter that I have to do is upload my run data whenever a run finishes. Or not even when it finishes. Whenever I pause and want to save the state of the run. Which is what I'll do for the next Gogma balls, right? I still have to write... I mean, I do have the code already, but it's still built for the previous hellish splitter software, so I'll just have to revise it. And then when that is done, then I'll have to write the load run data or function, and so just so that it correctly renders everything from the saved state, and then test that a bunch to make sure that it's working correctly, do some stress tests, and when that is done, then we can continue the hellish run 5 or 6, whatever it is. Get that ball rolling, finish ASAP, right? Get the core filled up for the community progress, and then the only remaining ones are the sacrifice core and the vision core. Sacrifice handles donations and gifts. Vision handles every trail that people embark on, regardless if you use money or progress coins. Yeah. And for the sacrifice core, I might enable donations of progress coins as well, because it's going to keep the market healthy, right? And that way anyone can contribute if they really want to, so it's a win-win. And I think that's it. Yeah. It's gonna be nice to see the custom emotes in the chat as well. So, like, you know, I'll of course gift all of you guys some free trails, so you can test out all the trail perks when they're live again, which will be very soon. Like, it's not gonna take too much longer. So yeah, we're almost there, man. Just one thing at a time. Yeah. Alright, see you guys soon. Have a good night. On to the next one. Do your best. Get some progress and fly through the ceiling. Don't even patch it up. Don't even worry about it. And we will speak again later. That's all for now. See you soon. Goodbye. Good night. See you, Makamoo. Have a good night.